Nightcap, hosted by Casey Kerr. And we're live, Nightcap, with Casey Kerr. Go ahead, Casey, you're on.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Casey Kerr, and you are watching Nightcap. I'm so excited to have you here with me today because it's been a day. Have you had a day like that? So I'm very happy to have my... So here we go. So today I am flying Han Solo. I have some wing women behind the scenes, but I'm here by myself today. So, but that's not the same as drinking by myself, right? So today we're going to be talking about some strategies to help you get through the holidays. So it is a tough time of year, and I spent this afternoon at the doctor's office, and the receptionist there just kept huffing and was totally out of it and was so stressed out, and she was kind of the inspiration for today's show. So we're going to be talking about some strategies to keep you calm and peaceful and decrease the overwhelm, because what you're really suffering from is you're always almost there. Does that sound familiar? It sounds really familiar to me, because I feel like I spent I don't know, maybe maybe 20 years in that space, just emerging out of it. So I'm looking to share some strategies and some techniques that helped me to move through that, and hopefully they'll help you as well. So, so who am I talking to, first of all? As I think I'm in week 5 of this adventure of hosting this show, and I love to always start out by talking a little bit about who I am hoping to talk to, who I am looking to attract, and who I'm looking to share my message with, my strategies with, and who I'm here to help. So if you are anything like me, then you are someone who has so much more to give, so much more to do, so much more to offer than what you're actually experiencing now. You're somebody who feels like she's not quite living up to her potential, and you don't know why. It's not because you don't have enough passion or excitement or conviction or belief in what you're doing and what you're capable of. But somehow it's just not happening in quite the way that you know is possible for you. So that's kind of who you are. And who I am is somebody who's just on the other side of that, oddly enough. I am a life and business coach. I am a mindset expert and personal development expert, I guess, through so many years of my own struggles, and spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get myself to a place where I could understand what was causing my frustration, my stuckness. And so I'm hoping that I can help you to avoid spending that kind of money and shedding those kinds of tears and wasting that kind of time. So if any of that resonates with you, then you're in the right place. And if you know somebody who's feeling that way, then please share this. Send it out there to those people, because we're all here to help each other, and everybody's paying it forward. And that's how we keep moving and making the world a better place for every single one of us. So let's dive in, shall we? Okay. So the first problem, I guess, that I see all the time, and that I'm talking to people all the time about right now, is that your cup is just so full. It cannot take another drop. Your plate is completely full. You're overwhelmed, right? You are in a state of total overwhelm that has you either feeling frozen or in quicksand. Does that sound familiar at all? It might look like you might suffer from overcomplication, right? Where you think something should be so simple and it's not. And you feel like there are, 15 steps that have to be done before you can do this one thing. And you need 5 people to give you input or whatever it is. You're you're making things harder, and you know that on some level, but you don't exactly know how to fix it. Does that sound familiar? I have people calling me on that all the time. I mean, like I say to people, when I'm overcomplicating, please let me know. Just say, overcomplicating, you're in the rabbit hole. Um, what is so awful about being stuck in that space of overwhelm is that it has you feeling like you're a failure, like you're not being the best version of yourself. You're just not being successful. You're behind. You're not doing what you should be doing. And that makes you feel so guilty and so crappy. And that really saps your energy and strength and prevents you from being able to do more. And it's when you beat yourself up and give yourself a hard time that you really get yourself into this, cycle of chasing your tail. And not making any more progress. So what do you do when you're in that space? Well, one of the biggest causes of that is that you are setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. You're an overachiever, right? You know what you are capable of because you have seen yourself do some extraordinary things in your life. So you know that you're capable of a lot of things. So you don't hesitate to create goals that are, way above where you are in the moment. You are not afraid to say, oh, you want me to do 3 things? I'll do 12 things. I can do all that in a day, no problem, right? Not a problem at all. I can totally do that. And then at the end of the day, you got 4 of them done, and you're killing yourself over it, telling yourself what a failure you are, how lazy you are, how undisciplined you are. And all that does is make you feel bad about yourself. So setting realistic expectations means that being an overachiever is actually setting yourself up for failure. Right? All you need to do is take 1 or 2 steps away from where you are now consistently in order to make progress. So as you're planning for the holidays, we'll use that as an example. Rather than having separate lists for what you should do for your job, your, running your household, taking care of yourself physically, taking care of your kids, your family, all of your responsibilities. You want to put all those things together in one list. You want to have them in one place, and preferably with your calendar so that you know what you're doing. Now, this isn't just a time management thing. This is a mindset, because if it were just as simple as having those techniques alone, then nobody would have this problem. But it's not as simple as having those techniques. It's recognizing what is driving you into those behaviors. And typically it's what I call a core fear, like a core fear of failure, or fear of judgment, or fear of rejection, or fear of lack. And that's what spirals you into feeling like you need to do more and more and more so that you can feel better about yourself. The problem is you wind up kind of overestimating how much you can actually do. And then instead of feeling better about yourself for overachieving, you feel worse about yourself for underachieving. So that's number 1. Number 2 is chronic indecisiveness. Now, this is a hot button point for me and for so many of the people that I work with, because it touches so many areas of your life that you don't even realize, right? It could be as simple as not knowing what to wear, what's appropriate to wear to a particular occasion, or what to say. How many of us have had that, where you don't know what to say when you have to say no to someone, or you don't know what to say when you're going to make a sales call, say, to a potential client or customer, or you've just gotten into a conflict, an argument, a fight with someone that you care about and you don't know what to say to them. Or maybe it's that you have a big decision in front of you and you're not quite sure how to make it. You know, how it shows up in your life often is that it looks like clutter in your house. It feels like clutter in your head, like, you know, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And as long as you're walking around in that place where you can't quite make up your mind between A and B, then you're almost like maybe like a volleyball or a ping pong, right? Going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while that's going on, it stresses you out. You don't have any place, any space where you can step away from it because it's a decision that has to be made. It also can take the physical form of unpaid bills or taxes that you haven't filed, or if you go shopping a lot and the bags are plopped all around your room because you're not sure if you're going to return them or not. Those are all really great examples. So what's the solution for that? The solution is make a decision. Now, I don't say that lightly and I don't say that tongue in cheek. I mean quite seriously that you start by making little decisions. Look at things that are don't have a lot of weight to them, right? That aren't incredibly important. The stakes are not very high. What am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to wear today? Should I call this person first or that person first? Anything that you vacillate over, for a minute, that isn't going to cause you great stress, use that as an opportunity where you just stop and make a decision. And the truth is, and I know that you are not going to believe this at first, so I'm asking you to take a step out on the ledge with me or out on the limb and just trust, right? It doesn't matter what you decide, because even if the decision that you make ultimately is something that didn't turn out the way you would have wanted, or, even blows up in your face, making the decision yourself builds your sense of self-confidence. It builds your sense of trust in yourself. It builds your sense of courage in life, like trusting that everything is going to be okay. And do not underestimate the importance of those three things in your life, because if you are frustrated and you are, not moving forward at the pace that you would like, I guarantee you that you have a trust issue. So here is a great opportunity for you to build up that muscle, right? Make a decision, because when you make a decision, no matter what it is, and no matter what the results are, you are building trust, confidence, and courage in that moment. And the next time you have to make a decision, you now have a store of more trust, confidence, and courage, so that making decisions become even easier and easier. And here's the real beauty of this, that on the back end, right, in the sort of big picture scheme of things, you are actually telling yourself, without even intending or meaning to, that you are telling yourself that you trust yourself even if the shit hits the fan. You trust yourself enough that you're going to be able to handle it. You're going to be able to fix it. You're going to be able to restore it. You're going to be able to turn it into something amazing. That's what you're telling yourself, right? And that's the kind of thing that winners believe. That's the kind of thing that the future you who's super successful believes. I wish I could see the note that I'm being handed right now from behind the scenes, but I can't. Will you text it to me, Nola? So that is the beauty of building your trust muscle. It will help you by making small decisions. It will help you to make bigger decisions when you really need them. The third one is, and this goes right back to the title of our show, that you're almost always there. Does that feel familiar to you? Does it feel familiar in any way? Either in the micro, in the moment, the small picture stuff, like say your holiday shopping, right? Or plans for the holidays, for New Year's, for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for maybe you're taking a destination holiday trip that you're almost there, like you've almost got everything all sorted out and all squared away. Or bigger picture, in your business, in your weight loss, in your relationship, in your personal development, whatever it is. You might recognize this if you have a lot of ideas, but you have no traction on them. And that is so frustrating, right? You've got all this amazing stuff going on in your head and you can't bring any of it to reality or to fruition. Time management, whether we're talking about struggling to be punctual to events, or time management with regard to a little bit about what we talked about with the overwhelm, where you think that you have more time than you do. That's usually part of time management. I always think it takes me less time to get ready than it actually does. And now that I have a 3.5-year-old, it always takes me way longer to get ready than it actually does. You might also recognize this because maybe you're hearing from people, you're not listening to me. I told you that already. You're not hearing me. You didn't hear what I said. Whereas you're possibly feeling like, you're not telling me stuff. You're totally forgetting to tell me stuff. Or that you're always feeling under pressure, under the gun. I have a friend who says 1 foot on the banana peel, like you're always a little bit behind the 8 ball and you're always feeling like there's not enough time, right? So if those are a lot of symptoms that you have, then I'm just going to come out and tell you that probably your biggest problem, or one of your biggest problems, is that you live up here. You live in your head. You are always up there with your thoughts, with your dreams, with your desires, with what you have to do, with what you haven't done. In a way, especially in the moment, in the micro, when you're planning, you think of it as a way of, and especially with the holidays, you think of it as a way of staying organized and staying on top of what you're doing and what needs to be done, and trying to make decisions about where to go, what to do first, what order to do things. And it makes you feel like you're on top of everything. But really what it does is it spins your wheels, and it creates tension and pressure, because you're almost constantly putting yourself into this fight or flight mode, right? And so it causes much more stress. It doesn't calm you down. It doesn't make you feel in control. And it's crazy because that's exactly what you think it's going to help you feel like, right? But it doesn't do that. So what can you do? You can get grounded. You need to spend more time in your body, coming out of your head. And you can do that in so many different ways. You can do that in the moment by, stopping and taking deep breaths, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. You can do it by sitting down on the ground, especially if you're outside, but not if it's cold like it is around here right now. But you do it by sitting on the ground or on the floor and just feeling the ground beneath you. You can do it if you have kids or pets, just by sitting and being with them, playing with them. You can do it through yoga. You can do it through gardening, through biking, through running, through anything physical. It really just is important for you to engage your body and your mind in whatever you're doing. So if you're taking a shower, then stop thinking about your whole day. Think about the water hitting the top of your head. Think about it, splashing across your face. Think about it if you're sitting in your bed, then feel the pillow beneath your head, or, the covers as they touch your skin. Whatever it is that you're doing. If it's the dishes, feel the soap. Feel the dishes in your hand. Just put yourself into that moment. And you may know that you live in your head, but you maybe don't know how much that is contributing to you not achieving what you want to achieve. And let me tell you that not only does it prevent you from achieving what you want to achieve, but it prevents you from coming across as credible and convicted. It prevents you from coming across like you're solid enough to help. And I speak from experience with this because I live in my head. And so it is a constant reminder for me to bring all of that energy back down into my body. So I guess a quick summary is that if you're feeling like you could really benefit from calm and peace, and from from wanting to decrease overwhelm in your life, then let's take a look at these 3 pieces again. So the first one is recognizing when your plate is always full, or when your plate is full, and setting realistic expectations for yourself, not based on what you think the super version, future version, high potential version of you can do, but where are you at right now? Look at your life in front of you. What can you do, right? And factor that in with everything else going on in your schedule. Number 2 is chronic indecisiveness, where you don't trust yourself to make a decision and you're asking other people's opinions all the time. And that actually opens you up to a lot of insecurity. So make a decision and let go of the need for the results to validate your decision. Just allow yourself to make the decision, knowing that what you're really doing is building trust in yourself, building confidence in yourself and courage in yourself, because it's more important to make the decision and have it blow up in your face than to talk to 25 people and make the correct decision, but you really had no say in it, because then you still don't trust yourself. And the third one is when you're feeling like you're almost always there, is to really, bring yourself down into your body. Take yourself and your energy out of your head and bring it back down into your body, because I promise you that it is going to make all the difference. It's going to give you what you need in order to stop spinning your wheels and feeling like you're almost there. You're just on the precipice of it. So these strategies, every single one of them, are things that I have all experienced in my life. They have helped me to turn things around. And so I know that they will work for you. If you struggle to implement these strategies, and you may very well, but especially if you struggle to implement these strategies, then I need you to know this. You have all kinds of subconscious programming that you've been creating for your entire life. And however old you are, that's how long that stuff has been in control of you. And it was created through experiences with your parents, experiences at school, in your earliest years, and then reinforced as you got older and older. So you develop this way of seeing things through filters. And there's so many different ones. So you might have a lot of filters that contribute toward these fears and these negative behaviors. And that's why you struggle to make change. So if that is something that you've experienced, and I did, that's why I do what I do, because nobody could help me figure all this out. So if you struggle with that, then know that there is a way for you to pull that together. Just reach out to me on Facebook. You can find me on my Nightcap page or on findyourroar.com. And I have lots of ways for you to understand that programming and how you can undo it. So I hope that you have a fabulous holiday season and a great rest of your week. And I so look forward to hearing your comments on Facebook and and to hearing from you. I love to hear what you have to say, and share this with anyone that you know, anyone who would benefit from getting some strategies to help them to find more peace and more calm in their life, and to reduce the overwhelm and that horrible feeling of being almost there. It's a lousy place to be. You're so close that you're pressed up against the window, right? Let's all help each other to get there. So I guess I'm going to end with that. And I just look forward to hearing more from you. And until next time, big hugs and a big roar. We're out from Nightcap.
You've been watching Nightcap with Casey Kerr here on New Earth International.